Hey, what's up everyone? Chris Hludzik here with another episode of Chris Hludzik Explains. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these. I think the last time I did one was in the end of 2021, and now here we are, the end of 2023. And boy, did a lot happen in those 2 years. But today I want to talk about my newest releases. The Fighting with Myself single and the EP The Sky's Limit. And these releases came out of some turmoil in my life. I got divorced last year, and just, all the stuff that you go through with that, things you have to deal with and adjust to, and mainly that's what it was. It was adjusting. But that was sort of the jumping off point for the material on these releases. So I'm just going to kind of go into it a little bit. Now, the single Fighting with Myself is also part of the EP, so I'm really not going to talk too much about this, but I just figured I'd mention this because if you wanted to hear this to kind of get a taste of what the EP is like, I would recommend you go download this at chrishludzik.bandcamp.com. It's the Fighting with Myself single. And there's 4 versions on here. There's the EP version, which has everything on it, all the orchestration, everything. Then there's a no orchestra version, which obviously doesn't have the orchestra. There's a stripped version, which takes out the drums and the electric guitars. And then there's the demo version. So check that out if you want to hear that song. It's already been getting some airplay on Alan Stout's show on 105 The River, Music on the Menu, and Mike Nadok on WRKC's Cellar Full of Noise has already played it as well. So that's really cool. So I'm going to talk about this, The Sky's Limit. Now, people have asked me about the title, The Sky's Limit. Don't you mean the sky's the limit? No, I don't. The sky's the limit, obviously, is, an old saying. But I kind of wanted to turn that saying on its head. It's like, well, the sky's the limit. Well, what's the limit to the sky? And so that's why I titled this EP, The Sky's Limit. And it's also the title track. There's a track on here called The Sky's Limit. And it's the first time I've actually done that with a release. Well, other than singles that I've just released that have been single songs, but as far as like EPs or albums, I've never had like a title track. So this is the first time I've done that. The Sky's Limit, the song, is basically just about, breakdown of a relationship. And it doesn't have to be like a marriage. It could be like a friendship. It could be anything, really. That's the one thing about my songs is that I don't write from a place where I'm like beating you over the head with like, oh, this song's about me. This song's about what I've gone through. Because I hate that. I really think that's just annoying. It's ruined a lot of music for me. I want to be able to jump into a song and feel that I can relate to it and feel like, yeah, I get what this person's talking about. And not feel like, oh, it's just all about them. I hate that. That's such a huge turnoff for me with any music. And, with the things that I've gone through in the last couple of years, it would have been really easy to do a, me kind of a release. And I didn't want to do that. So I didn't. But The Sky's Limit, yeah, it's just kind of about the breakdown of a relationship, that loss of trust, that, feeling of, kind of hopelessness and like, what happens now kind of a thing. And that features Brian Brophy on drums and percussion. He did some really cool stuff on there. I knew I didn't want heavy drums on it, so he just does some kind of, drum fills here and there. He does some great cymbal work, and just basically just a kick drum throughout, just enough to kind of keep the song chugging along. The second song on the EP is, of course, Fighting With Myself, which is the single. And Fighting With Myself is really a song just about, it's a song I think anybody can relate to, because it's basically a song about how we all kind of doubt ourselves and second guess ourselves constantly in life. And don't lie, you know that you do it. And so that's basically what that song's about. We're all fighting with ourselves, in this world. We've got so much coming down on us. And then on top of that, we come down on ourselves as well. And I think the conclusion that the person in this song comes to is that, sometimes we've got to learn when to fight with ourselves and how hard to fight with ourselves. We're always going to be fighting with ourselves, but sometimes you got to learn to dial it back a little bit. Not doubt yourself so much, not be so hard on yourself. That's something I'm trying to learn how to do. And I think that's why I write these songs, is because I'm kind of trying to encourage myself, I guess, to live life a little differently, a little better. I don't know if it's working, but I'm trying. The third song on the EP is an instrumental, and it's the first instrumental song that I've done since the side project I did with Adam Kime called Murder Under Trust in 2014. And there was a song on there called War Cry, which was actually kind of like the impetus for the whole project. It was this instrumental thing that I had written. Adam helped me out on it, and we finished it off, and we decided, we should do more songs. But prior to that, the only instrumental that I've ever done solo was on my very first album, my debut solo album, Yours in Rock, from 2008, and it was a song called Grain of Sand. So it's been a while since I did an instrumental, but now here's the funny thing about it. Prior to all the stuff that happened that led me to write the songs on this EP, I had actually planned on doing an instrumental project, whether if it was going to be an album or just an EP, or maybe a song here or there, releasing every now and then. I had a lot of instrumental stuff just kind of laying around that I just never did anything with. Just kind of riffs that, I didn't really have any lyrics that suited them, so I was like, maybe I can make these instrumentals. I wrote this one piece called Autumn's Last Gasp, and I really dug it, and I figured, this would be a good thing to do and kind of get started on to work on the project. And I did start working on this song. And then all this other stuff in my life came crashing down at the time. And then I just decided, I've got some things I want to say, and I've got some things I want to, get off my chest. But I still liked this instrumental, and I thought, this could still have a place. And so I put it on this EP, and it kind of works as a bit of a palate cleanser, I guess. After the kind of the harsh reality of the first song and the kind of coming down and realization of the second song, this is kind of a little more, it's darker, but it's also a little more mellow. So it's a bit of a palate cleanser. I've always thought of my releases in terms of there's got to be a good strong opener, there's got to be a good song to follow it up, and there's got to be some, they're kind of more, kind of, I don't want to say middle of the road, but, kind of more, just kind of moving along kind of songs, nothing too intense, nothing too crazy, just enough to keep the momentum up until you have the last song and kind of have a good finale. And that's kind of what this does on this EP. I really like the way it came out. It came out really cool. The fourth and final song on the EP is called Put Away Past. And it's basically a song about somebody going through pictures, remembering times that were maybe a little better, remembering people that are no longer there, and kind of getting all kind of sad and, in reminiscing about it, and then thinking that, that's it. You know, there's nothing more after this. But the fact of the matter is there is more after that. There is life after whatever's happened before, you know, and it's just up to you to decide whether you want to hang on to the past or if you want to put it away and try to look towards a future. And again, that's something that I'm kind of trying to do right now. And again, it's probably why I wrote the song. A lot of people don't realize, you know, songwriters write songs 9 times out of 10 because they're trying to write them to themselves. Because sometimes we try to encourage ourselves, and that's how we do it. Maybe that's a weird roundabout way of doing it, but that's how we do it. At least that's how I've always done it. Now, on the Sky's Limit EP, I had 2 great people work with me who've worked with me on a lot of my other releases. Of course, my good friend Brian Brophy plays drums, percussion, plays piano on the last song, Put Away Past. And he does backing vocals on Fighting With Myself, and he absolutely did a killer job. He co-produced this with me as well. He just brought so much to this that I can't thank him enough. Without him, you know, my music wouldn't even happen. So much thanks to Mr. Brian Brophy. And of course, my good friend, Mr. Adam Kime, who, again, like as I said before, was my partner in the Murder Under Trust side project. And he's collaborated with me on various singles that I've done in the past. He was actually the one who instigated the string and brass arrangements on Fighting With Myself, because I remember when I was talking to him about the song and I had sent him the demo, he said, well, what are you thinking for this song? And I said, well, you know, I'm probably going to do like a string pad or something on the keyboard. And he just said, a string pad? Really? He's like, no. He's like, we're doing a whole string arrangement. And I was like, oh, okay. And we kind of bounced it back and forth until we got it to where I liked it, and I thought it suited the song right. And he did an amazing job on it. It came out sounding great, and you know, it really brought the song to life, gave it the dynamics that it needed. I can't thank Adam enough for his help. And I also cannot thank enough Joe Wagleski from Sound Investments Recording Studios for mixing Fighting With Myself. Because I had tried to mix it for months. And I was convinced that I was just going deaf. Because there was so much going on in the song. And it was just, I couldn't get a good clean mix where everything that I wanted to stand out stood out and the blend was good. So I ended up taking it to Sound Investments, having Wiggy mix it. And of course, he killed it. He did a great job. And of course, I also have to thank Tom Borthwick for doing an impeccable job on mastering the songs on the EP. Just, you know, again, when you know, it's crazy. You think that you have a mix that sounds not so great, or it's not a bad mix, but you're just not sure about certain things. And then you take it to Tom, and he masters it, and it's like, what was I worried about? This ended up sounding great. Because Tom he's got golden ears and he's got great equipment and he knows what he's doing. And I recommend anybody who wants to get something mastered to take it to SI Studios and have Tom Borthwick master it, because it will come out amazing. So without those people, this is not possible. So, I wanted to say thank you to all those people. And also thank you to everyone who's followed me so far in my career. This is, I believe, my 13th release overall. That's pretty nuts. 2023 also marks my 20th year as a musician in Northeast PA in some form or fashion. I joined my first band in April of 2023. April of 2003, rather, sorry. And so 2023, 20 years later, I'm still here. I'm still doing music. Pretty crazy. But again, you can get both of these, the Fighting With Myself single and the Sky's Limit EP, at chrishludzik.bandcamp.com. And they could be downloaded or streamed on Bandcamp. They can be downloaded for very cheap. And I'd appreciate it if you just gave it a listen. It'll be out, it's out by November 10th of 2023. And again, thank you to Alan Stout and Mike Nadok for playing the single and really getting behind it. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody for listening and for watching. And so again, my name is Chris Hludzik, talking about my new EP, The Sky's Limit, which again is available at chrishludzik.bandcamp.com. Thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, this has been Chris Hludzik Explains. Take care.